Hello friends, welcome back. I hope you all benefited from the last class and remember the different terms that we learned about climate, weather, monsoon, why temperature in one place high, another place it is low, and we belong to which region. All that we learned, we discussed in the last class. So today we shall proceed to the next class and continuation with the last class, last topic. And today we shall see about the climatic controls. We said different climates are there in different parts of India, and what are the controls? That means the factors that are controlling the climates, the factors that are affecting the climates. That is what we are going to learn today. You can see page number 27. So there are 6 major controls of the climatic of any place. So we will see there are how many factors? There are 6 controls are there. There are 6 controls are there. That is same in any place. If you go to any place, you will find there are 6 climatic conditions or climatic factors are there. And first one is the latitude. What is the first one? Latitude. Second one, altitude. And third one, pressure and wind. Pressure and wind. Then fourth one is distance from the sea. Then fifth one is ocean currents. And number 6 is relief features. Relief features. These are the 5 points that we have. First one is latitude, altitude, pressure and wind, distance from the sea, ocean currents and relief features. These are the 6 factors. So let us see about them one by one. How they are affecting the climate of a place. How are they influencing the climates? So due to the curvature of the earth, you know what is curvature? You know what is curve? No? So earth is not plane, earth is not straight, it is round. Therefore the curve is there. It is not a plain area, the earth. It is round in shape. We have seen the globe, no? So because of this nature, the amount of solar energy received varies according to latitude. So because of the curveness, we can say the solar energy received by the earth is not same everywhere. So the higher places will be receiving more according to the latitude. Certain places will receive more sunshine. That is near the equator. The places that are near the equator, they receive more sunshine. And as we go both pole sides, both polar regions, then the amount of sunshine they receive becomes less and less. That's why it is always covered by snow and so on. But the place, the middle place, the equator, near the equator, we receive very high temperature. That's why the latitude, the location of the place that matters. As a result, air temperature decreases and from the equator towards the poles. So as we go from equator towards the pole, what happens? The air temperature is decreasing. So where there is more sunshine, that area will have high temperature, and the pressure also will be more, because as the sunshine comes, the air is expanding. As the air becomes hotter and hotter, it is expanding, and as we go towards the polar region, the sunshine is less, therefore the pressure also is less. So in the equatorial place or equatorial region, there will be high temperature. And as one goes from surface of the earth to higher altitudes, so another is altitude. So if you go higher and higher, what happens? Where is the high temperature? The ground level or the higher level? High temperature will be always on the ground level. If you go higher and higher into the air, the temperature becomes low. For example, Himalayan mountains, the temperature is low. That's why it is always covered with ice. Suppose if the temperature were to be high, then all the ice would have melted very fast and there would not have any ice at all. But it is remaining there because the temperature on top of the mountain is lower than that is of the valley. Then so as we go from surface of the earth to higher altitudes, the atmosphere becomes less dense and temperature decreases. The hills are therefore cooler during summers. So that is the reason why the temperature in the hills becomes cool. If you stay in the valley, the temperature is high. If you go and stay in the hilltop, then the temperature is less. That is the reason. As we go higher and higher, the temperature becomes less. That's why most of the picking spots or the tourist centers, they are on hilltop because the temperature on the hilltop is less. So more people like to enjoy, especially people who are living in the hot regions, they like to come to this hill and spend a few days to refresh themselves and enjoy this cool weather. Then the pressure and the wind system of any area depend on the latitude and altitude of the place. So the pressure and the wind system, that depends on what? On the altitude and the latitude of this place. So the wind will depend on these two factors. Where is the location, the latitude, and what is the altitude, what is the height. So then accordingly the pressure and the wind will be there. So we already said the latitude or the location near the equator, that place will be very hot and therefore the pressure will be high, the temperature will be high. And altitude, if it is going higher and higher, then the temperature will be low. If it is coming down and down, then the temperature will be high. So accordingly there will be wind. I hope you know what is wind, isn't it? Movement of the air from one place to another is wind. So where there is high temperature, the air expands and then the air moves from there to another place where there is less temperature. Then from there it may come to this place again. So air keeps on rotating or moving from place where there is high temperature and moving to another place where there is low temperature. That is called wind. So this wind will depend on latitude and altitude. If it is a low place, the temperature will be high and there will be wind. And if you go to high place like in Mount Everest, Himalaya and so on, then their temperature will be low and there will not be much movement of the air because the air does not expand. They don't get enough sunshine to expand. So there will be less wind comparing to the ground level. Then thus it influences the temperature and rainfall pattern. So this wind, we get the rain because of the wind. So the rain that we get depends on how the wind is moving. So So the places where there are more winds, they will get more rain. The places where there are less rain, they will get less rain, and so on. So the movement of the wind is very important in order to receive the rainfall. Then the sea exerts a moderating influence on climate. So another reason is distance from the sea. The change of climate can be affected by the distance from the sea. So the place is how far from the sea. If it is near to the sea, then it will experience one type of climate. If it is far away from the sea, then it will experience another type of climate. So it depends on how far is the place from the sea, the distance from the sea. So as the distance from the sea increases, its moderating influence decreases and the people experience extreme weather conditions. So if the place is very far from the sea, then the sea will not have much influence on that land. So that place will experience very extreme temperatures. Sometimes it will be very hot, sometimes it will be very cold. So it will experience extreme climate conditions. And this condition is known as continuality. That is very hot during summers and very cold during winters. So those places that are affected or influenced by the sea, what will they experience? During the summer they will experience very hot, and during the winter they will experience very cold. Then ocean currents along with onshore winds affect the climate of the coastal areas. So then again the ocean currents, so they also affect the climate of the coastal area. So we have long coastal areas are there. So the areas that are there near the coast, near the sea, then the air will be affected by the ocean currents. Ocean currents means the currents in the ocean. They can be the wind blowing in the ocean side. That will also affect the climate of places that are near to the coastal side. For example, any coastal area with warm or cold currents flowing past it, it will be warm or cool if the winds are onshore. So, if the ocean, there are different types of currents. Some winds are very cold, some winds are warm. So, if a warm current is blowing to the sea, from the sea to the shore, then that area will become more warm. And if a cold wind is blowing, then the weather of that area will become cool. So it depends on what kind of current, what kind of air is coming to the land, from the ocean to the land. Depends on that, the climate also. If the hot weather or the hot air is coming, the hot current is coming, or the warm current is coming, then the climate of that place also will become warm. If the cool current is coming, then the area of the place also will become cold. So that's why we said the ocean currents can affect the temperature of a place. Then finally, relief. How the relief is affecting the climate of a place. So relief too plays a major role in determining the climate of a place. High mountains act as barriers for cold or hot winds. So relief means the physical features, especially the high mountains. So they also help in forming or influencing the climate of a place. How do they influence? Because they are able to block the wind. We said the wind is playing a major role in bringing or deciding the climate of a place. So if a cold wind is coming, then the mountains are blocking it. It is not allowing the wind to blow that side. So it can block the winds and make that area. If the wind is blocked, what do they get? People get rain. So the mountains are helping to block the winds and make them to rain, make them to cause rain. That way the temperature, the climate of that place is changed. So High mountains act as barriers for cold or hot winds. So whatever wind comes, whether it is cold wind or hot wind, it will be blocked by the mountains. And they may also cause precipitation if they are high enough and lie in the path of rain bearing winds. So if the mountains are very high enough to block these winds, then they will cause precipitation, they will cause rainfall. And then the leeward side of the mountains remain dry. Suppose the mountain is there, like this, a mountain is there, the wind is coming from this side, the mountain is blocking it, and so this area will get rain. So this side of the mountain also will get rain. What about the other side of the mountain? It will be dry. That's called leeward side of the mountain. So wind is coming from here, the mountain is blocking and causing the rain to fall this side. But this side of the mountain remain dry. So see the difference. Same mountain, this side is having rain, this side is not having rain. We may think why? Same mountain, one side getting rain, another side not getting rain. It is because of the mountain blocking the wind. The wind was coming from this side and it is blocked and causing the rain. Suppose the wind comes from this side, the mountain is blocking, then this side will get rain and this side will remain dry. So that is how the relief features like mountain is causing or influencing the climate of a place. So if it is a small mountain, then it will not be able to block the wind. If it is high enough, then it is able to block the wind and cause rainfall. So these are the 6 features that is affecting the climate of a place, that is influencing the climate of a place. Now about them we shall see a little more detail about a few of them, the most important ones we shall see again the in detail. So first let us see again the latitude, how the latitude is helping the change of the climate. So the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of the country from Ran of Quint in the west to Mizoram in the east. Almost half of the country lying south of the Tropic of Cancer belonging to the tropical area, and all the remaining area north of the tropic lies in the subtropic. Therefore, India's climate has characteristics of tropical as well as subtropical climates. So, when we were studying about the location of India, we studied where is the position of India. India is in the northern hemisphere, and up to northern hemisphere there is a line passing through. It is called Tropic of Cancer. So half of India is below the Tropic of Cancer, or that is the south of Tropic of Cancer, and the other half is in the north of Tropic of Cancer. So the area that is lying between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer, that is experiencing very high temperature. They are experiencing temperature, equatorial temperature, and the other half that is above or the northern part of this Tropic of Cancer, they are experiencing different temperature. So India experiences, that is we can say the lower part or the southern part of India is experiencing high temperature, and the northern part of India is experiencing another temperature. It is because of this latitude, the location of India in the globe. So it is because of the location. I hope you understood. So we experience 2 types of climate. So all the remaining the area that is lying south of the Tropic of Cancer belonging to the tropical area. So they experience tropical climate. Then other part, another part is subtropical climate. Another is subtropical climate. So this one is below the Tropic of Cancer, and this one is above the Tropic of Cancer. So the top part of India or the northern part of India experience subtropical climate, and the southern part of India experience tropical part of climate. So it is because of the latitude, because of the location of our country. Now let's see how the altitude is helping to change the climate of a place. India has mountains to the north which have an average height of 6,000 meters. So the northern part of India, there is mountains. Can you say which is a mountain? We have in the northern part of India the Himalayas. The Himalayas starting from Kashmir and passing through the border of India and Nepal and reaching up to Arunachal Pradesh. That is a mountain, huge Himalayan mountains, long Himalayan mountains. And some places it is as high as 6,000 meters. So these mountains, which is the highest part of Himalaya, the Everest peak. So the Everest mountain. So there are some places which is as high as 6,000 meters. India also has a vast coastal area where the maximum elevation is about 30 meters, and some other places in India the maximum height is 30, especially the coastal areas. So that is the lowest place in our country, that is coming somewhere in the peninsular plateau. So there the height is only 30 meters. So you see the difference from 30 meters to 6,000 meters. So much of difference is there in the height, the altitude. And the Himalayas prevent the cold winds from Central Asia from entering the subcontinent. It is because of these mountains that the subcontinent experiences comparatively milder winter as compared to Central Asia. So the Himalaya, earlier we said, the precipitation is caused because of mountains blocking the wind and causing the rain. So it is not only helping in that way. The northern India is able to experience mild winter because the cold wind that is coming in the month of the cold during the winter, the Himalayan mountain is blocking them, not allowing to enter into India. So it is coming from other side, China, Tibet and so on. And the Himalayan mountain is blocking it, and therefore the wind does not enter here. So if that cold wind is entering into India, if Himalaya was not there, it is sure to enter. Then the temperature in India during the winter season would have been very high. Temperature would have been very low. During the winter, temperature would have been very low and the winter would have been very severe. But Himalaya is blocking it and not allowed to enter this side. Therefore, the northern India is experiencing a mild winter comparing to the other part of Asia. So we are lucky that we have got this natural barrier to protect our country from experiencing very cold wave during the winter season. Then the third one is pressure and winds. We already said about pressure and winds. How are they helping us? Let us see again. So the climate and associated weather conditions in India are governed by the following atmospheric conditions. So the climate and associated weather conditions in India are governed by following conditions. Let us see what are the conditions that are affecting the climate and weather of our country. So first one is pressure and surface winds. So the pressure, the air pressure and the wind, surface winds. Upper air circulation, then the air circulation that is on top. So everywhere the air will not be moving same. Sometimes air will be moving only in the ground level, sometimes it will be moving in the upper level and so on. Then western cyclonic disturbances and tropical cyclones. And then sometimes there is cyclone. We hear these days a lot of cyclones are there, the Bay of Bengal, in the Arabian Sea and so on. So that is why it is happening? because of this pressure, air pressure. So when there is high pressure, the air starts moving to another place. And if the pressure is very high, then the speed of the air is very high. That's why it is forming cyclones. So how the air is moving in the ground level, how it is moving in the upper level, and how when there is cyclone, how the air is moving. So it all depends on this pressure and the wind. India lies in the region of northeasterly winds. So the area that India is laying, the location of India, it is, where is it? Northeasterly winds. So the region we get northeasterly winds. So our country falls in this region, and the type of wind that we get is northeasterly winds. And these winds originate from subtropical high pressure belt of the northern. So we said about the subtropical region, the region between Tropic of Cancer and the polar regions. So that place there is a high pressure air is there, hot air is there, and therefore from there the wind originates and coming into India. And these winds originate from the subtropical high pressure belt of the northern hemisphere. They blow south and get deflected to the right due to the Coriolis force, and move on towards the equator low pressure area. And generally, these winds carry very little moisture as they originate and blow over land. Therefore, they bring little or no rain. Hence, India should have been an arid land, but it is not so. Let's see why. So, this wind that is blowing from subtropical region, what is the speciality of this wind? They blow from north to south, get deflected to the right. So, as they blow and blow, they get deflected. Deflected means become less strong. It's becoming weaker and weaker. Deflected. And then what happens? And why they are getting deflected? It is because of this Coriolis force. What is Coriolis force? It's because of the Earth's rotation. We learn that Earth is rotating in its axis. So because of that rotation, that is called Coriolis force. Because of the rotation of the Earth, the wind becomes weaker and weaker, and move on towards the equatorial low pressure area. So the wind that was blowing from north to south, because of the Coriolis force of the Earth, it is deflected. It becomes less powerful, and then it moves towards equatorial region where there is low pressure. So from high pressure area, the air is moving to the low pressure area, that is called wind. So here it is moving from northern hemisphere, it is coming to the equatorial area. And generally these winds carry very little moisture as they originate and blow over the land. So some of the winds carrying a lot of moisture, and these are the winds causing rain. But these winds, they are not carrying moisture, therefore they do not cause rain. Hence India should have been an arid land, but it is not so. Let us see why. So this wind is very dry, they don't bring any water, they don't cause any rain, and so India would have been very dry land. Arid means very dry land, but we know India is not very dry land, we get lot of rain. So how we get rain? Let us see. So this wind would have brought a lot of moisture, then India would have become very fertile land. If not bringing anything, then India would have become a dry land. Again, that is not true. So let's see why India is not becoming a dry land. So there's a little note is there about Coriolis force. An apparent force caused by the Earth's rotation. So you can underline what is Coriolis force. It is because of Earth's rotation. The Coriolis force is responsible for deflecting winds towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. This is also known as Ferrel's law. So, the Coriolis force is responsible for deflecting winds towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. So, we said early, the wind that was blowing very fast, it becomes suddenly less force. It is deflected because of this Coriolis force. So, the wind that is in the northern hemisphere, what happens? It is responsible for deflecting winds towards right. In the northern hemisphere, it is turned towards right, and the southern hemisphere, it is deflected towards the left. And this is also known as Ferrel's law. You must have studied in the physics the Ferrel's law. So, because of the rotation of the Earth, the northern hemisphere, the wind is turning to the right, and in the southern hemisphere, the wind is turning to the left. So that is just general knowledge about Coriolis force. Now let's continue with that pressure, wind and wind pressure, or we will study in the next class. We shall, otherwise it may take too long time. So today we shall wind it up, and the next class we will continue with the same topic about wind and the pressure. So we will meet you in the next class. So till then, bye.